So check out, this is my current radiator setup and electric fan setup, which is LS1F body style electric fans. And that's a Summit Racing LS swap, supposedly, radiator. I guess the only reason that makes it LS swap is because it has, you know, the inlets and outlets on the passenger side, but I guess on this LS swapped, I would have been okay without it because of where the hose is. It would have been either okay with either being right here or being over here where it traditionally is. Probably would have made the hole shorter. But when I bought it, I was like, okay, cool, LS swapped or LS swap radiator, but yeah, wouldn't have made a difference. Anyways, this is going away, so I'm about to put the new CXRACING radiator slash intercooler combo for a Chevelle for a 68 to 72 setup. So hopefully the other one looks better, and I think it will look better. So no more chrome little cover, and I should still be able to keep this because I like this, because this is where I'll be putting my decals of the products that I run underneath the hood. But yep, check out this quick setup that is going to be gone. This was it did me good for my LSA, and it should do good for NA. But yeah, just Summit Racing LS setup type radiator with F body fans, worked good. And then this is where we're going with now. So this is the CXRACING radiator slash intercooler combo that both get mounted using this like upper radiator cover slash now install bracket, and then this is a lower bracket that'll hold the radiator because it gets pushed out about 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches out. So this setup is normally for a 68 to 72 Chevelle, so it'll actually work perfect on my 72 Monte Carlo, because obviously you got room for days on this thing. So if it pushes it out to about where the fan's at, then the fans will be right here and it should be good. So remember, this is for 68 to 72 Chevelle. Supposedly there's no cutting, no drilling, no fabricating. Should be a direct bolt on. The only thing is that there's no issues, so I guess somehow it's self-explanatory. I still haven't figured it out how. There's no install video, or I haven't found no video on YouTube, so hopefully this will be the first one that should kind of go over it and get some little details of how it's mounted. It looks like these little holes on the upper cover ends up going to like these little holes that the intercooler has, but it'll be on the top side, and this radiator has on this right here. So I'll try mounting it and mocking it up and kind of going over how it looks. Like I said, this is the lower bracket. You know, it gets bolted to the bottom of the radiator like this, and then the radiator will get mounted here somehow. And I think these brackets right here get put together and they'll go somehow like this. I don't know yet, to give it the height difference for, you know, because it's the height difference. That'll be mounted to the top, and it obviously won't reach the bottom because of the height difference between the radiator and the intercooler. So I'll try to figure that out right now. So let me start draining coolant, and then I'll go over how this thing installs, and then we'll see how it looks. Be right back. Okay, so this is where I'm at right now with the mock-up on that CXRACING radiator slash intercooler combo. So this is that upper bracket, you know, that mounting bracket, which is pretty cool because I was able to retain this black cover that I was going to put my decals on and put some more decals on this. With that being said, like I said, there was no instructions on how to install this, so I kind of went based on the pictures that were on the website that you buy it from. So here it is mocked up from the top, and as you can see on the furthest setting, if you wanted to slide it all the way forward, which I will be doing that because, you know, I have room for days on a first gen Monte Carlo. You know, look at this, still have a bunch of room. I'm gonna scoot it as far forward as possible, so that way it still has air in between. anyways, with that being said, I'm gonna show you underneath the car about whereabouts to mount it real quick. Look, check this out. So this is obviously where it mounts on these 4 holes, right? As you can see, it'll line up right where this like well corner is on that right there. I'll probably put something there, like a piece of rubber, so it doesn't beat up on it. I reused this right here, which is like door trim piece of some sort. I can't remember where I got this from, but I put it on here so it doesn't scratch up this panel. But like I said, look, you can kind of see where, you know, it fits there. Now, if you wanted to split hairs, you could split a hair and push it in a little bit more and, you know, make this come out a little bit more. But let me show you underneath and show you where I ended up drilling my holes and putting the screws on and the bolts on. On the website, it says no cutting, no drilling. That's a lie. You're gonna have to do some drilling unless the Chevelle has some holes under there that I don't know about. Once again, this is for a 68 to 72 Chevelle, and this is a 72 Monte Carlo, which is an A-body, and they're pretty similar. The only advantage of this Monte Carlo is it's a little bit longer. From somewhere right here along these lines, it scoots a little bit forward. Like you see that gearbox. If you had a Chevelle, this radiator would probably be pretty close to that. So that is the difference between these two sisters from Arkansas, is that it's a little bit longer. So somewhere right here is the only difference between a Chevelle and a Monte Carlo, is how long the nose is. Anyways, let me get under there and show you real quick where I ended up drilling my holes. All right, so after studying the pictures on the CX Racing website, there's this little hole here in the middle. I don't know what it is, or I don't know if it's 100% dead center. Either way, if you measure from here to here, it's going to be a different distance than if you measure from here to this bracket, okay? It'll be different. You'll be off by 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch. I can't remember. But with that being said, this is the driver's side, all right? There's this hole right here, okay? The Chevelle has it too, and so does the Monte Carlo, and I'm sure every A-body has it, okay? So with that being said, there's also the first slot, okay? And if you can barely see right there, there's just gonna be a little hole, all right? You're gonna try to split hairs pretty much between that little hole halfway right here, and then space it out, and like, you know, from this first groove on the radiator, and then I just drilled my 2 holes. I think I used the 7/16 drill bit, where it's barely the size of this the thread pitch, so there's not a lot of play, and the only type of room I'll have is to go back and forth, okay? So like I said, watch this hole. This is the driver's side. There's a gearbox, little hole, all right? It's a little groove right here. Hole, first little slit slot, and you can barely see that little, you know, there's a little tiny hole right here that's factory. Now we're gonna go all the way over here to the passenger side, and here's that same hole, same slot right here, whatever this is, the little groove, the hole, and there goes that first slot. Now there's also a hole right here, but I almost ended up covering it up. You can try to split hairs between this little hole that's barely right here and that one, and that'll pretty much get you where this is supposed to be bolted to, all right, where you'll drill your holes. All right, now I'm probably like a millimeter or a centimeter off from it being dead center. Now, there's these little pins on the bottom, or not little pins, but I don't know what you call it, but it's like a little, it's welded to the radiator, and it's like a little, what I call a little chilillo, or a little chingadera that's sticking out, and I'll put the rubber grommets. But look how it lines up here, and look how it lined up here. All right, it's almost pretty dead even, if I say so myself. All right, now I gotta figure out, put these rubber grommets that came in the packing, but I still don't know how it's supposed to keep it from being secured down here at the bottom of the radiator. All right, because it has a little chingadera that you put these rubber grommets, I think, on, and it doesn't do anything. I don't know what's supposed to be going on. So I don't know how to secure this bottom part of the radiator to this bracket yet. All right, so I'm gonna keep playing with it. I'm gonna keep trying to figure it out, and then I'll update how I secured it, or what I figured out from staring at more pictures. But once again, this is how I bolted it down. If you can see, how much room I have from the bracket to the radiator. Here's the core welding. And then here's the other side. All right. Here's the bracket, here's the core. That little tank core, whatever you want to call it, in the welding. So it could probably move about a millimeter to a centimeter out towards the driver's side, you know, and it'll be dead center nuts. It doesn't mean that I can't loosen this up and then, you know, like smack the bracket a little bit down towards the passenger side, and it'll probably be dead even. Anyways, so let me mock up the intercooler just to show you, and then eventually I'll figure this out probably tomorrow after staring at more pictures about how the heck to mount the radiator to this bracket, keeping it secured, you know. Be back. All right, so I'm sitting down inside the engine bay. Good thing I guess I'm on Monte Carlo. You know, it's pretty big in here. Plenty of space. But once again, the instructions said no cutting, no drilling, and no blah, blah, blah. It's not clear how these brackets that go underneath the intercooler go, but this is about as best as I can conclude. It gives you 4 of these little L-shaped brackets, all right? So basically what I guess I'll be doing, this is just mock-up right now, all right? So nothing is set in stone, but once I put the radiator back on, I'll see if this looks like what's gonna work, and I'll take it back off, because I gotta take it back off anyways when I do the cam swap. But anyways, so this is the driver's side bracket. I guess I'll be reusing this hole. You know, I'll just stick the nut going down the head, and underneath I'll probably just use a bigger washer, you know, to cover up, because this hole is a lot bigger than this one. But look how the bracket is. So that bolt is there, and then that bracket is kind of like leaned, and it'll be kind of supporting it through that. And same thing on this side. On this side, I guess I will have to drill a hole, because the bracket hole wasn't going to line up with this one. But at least right here is kind of straight. And that's how it is. I don't know if this is how it goes. There's no instructions. At least none that I found. Not on the website. But I'll be damned if there were some instructions on that and I just missed them, I guess. But either way, just showing you guys this is what it looks like underneath. And I guess this is how you're going to mount the intercooler. So here's the intercooler above the bracket and whatnot. And there it is. So, yep. This is about I guess it's as good as it gets on this thing. It's as good as it gets. So, I'll probably use some Loctite on this one. Not sure. You know, if I want to use the locking washer. But I might use it. So, anyways, but look, guys. You'll have to drill a hole here. And then tighten this up. Use a bolt with the bigger washer underneath, and I guess that should be good, because the pictures on there, some of the pictures that are on the website on the CX Racing, it doesn't show this bolt hole being used, but then one of the pictures you can see that this is being used. So, you know, I don't know. And then on the new radiator that I have that comes with this kit, it has this grommet or rubber isolator or rubber bushing. I don't know what to call it, but it slips into that little Chilillo chingadera nipple, and but it won't go through here, you know. See? So I think what I'll do is I'll probably end up tracing it around there, and then I'll cut it with a knife or with some sort of like a heat gun, like a heating knife. And then that way it'll hopefully just drop straight in there. And maybe that'll give me the security that I need. So I'll probably just find something, you know, what is it called? Dissecting knife or X-Acto knife or X-Acto cuz knife. I'll cut this right here. That way it'll drop in there, hopefully. But we'll see. So let me mount this radiator and see how the mock-up looks. I'll be back. Okay, so here's the mock-up of that CX Racing radiator slash intercooler combo. This is about where I'm gonna mount my bolts at to give me the more flush look. I'm gonna slide this all the way forward, and then I'm gonna slide this back, and I'm gonna slide this forward. So I guess an LS swapped radiator, I just realized that it comes with an additional nipple, like right here built into the tank for this hose. So it's for the, I guess the coolant ports that come off the top of the heads, so it'll bleed. So I guess I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with this. So we'll see what I do. The cool thing about this radiator for me is I guess it has this little slots here, which I'll probably be able to mount some electric fans or reuse my electric fans on some brackets. And like I said, good thing these Monte Carlos are long, because, you know, look at that, look how much room I was able to get it off, and I still have room for days in here. You know, the only thing I'm gonna have to do is relocate my overflow tank, which is no biggie. Probably just move it over here or something. Or get some other fancy looking racing aluminum overflow tank mounted to the radiator somehow or somewhere. So that way I can get this intercooler to come off this way and go up here somehow. And then on the other side, this is what it'll look like. I think I'm gonna reuse this so I can have my master flow sensor. Tuner said he liked for me to keep my master flow sensor to tune it. Said it will make it easier because this is a stock type ECU, something like that. I'm not smart, but he is. But that's what he said he wanted. So now I just gotta figure out how to get this to here, and then somewhere between here and here, mount a blow-off valve. You know, maybe like whatever. I haven't decided how this is gonna look, but shouldn't be too bad. I'll figure it out. You know, anyways, just kind of brainstorming while I'm recording. But yeah, so this is what it looks like mounted. You know, plenty of room to get it from here to there. You Chevelle guys or other Abody guys whose front end isn't this long will probably have similar clearance, except in the front. You know, it'll probably be, y'all stuff's probably be like somewhere right here. So this will probably be touching this. And then you'll have less hose to worry about to getting to the throttle body. But let me show you what I was talking about, that rubber grommet and the little Chinkadera nipple. All right. So as you can see, this nipple comes down here, and I guess it'll somehow keep it from moving around or sliding. But with that grommet installed right here on this one, it doesn't come down. So that's why I was thinking about cutting it. But if this being cut does not work, what I might do is stick like a rubber hose on it that'll slip between here and fit that little nipple, Chingadera Chilio. And then maybe, I don't know, put like some sort of clamp, like maybe one of those warm clamps or something. Not a warm clamp, but one of those tension clamps. Put it on there so that way it won't fall out, but it'll kind of like help support that. But I don't know. Since I have these already, I might just put it on, you know, slip it on. Sorry, but I might just slip it on and then cut this right here, like slot it like this, so it'll hopefully come down, and then that way there will be no movement going back and forth, especially when launching hard, you know. So yeah, man, so this is what those brackets look like from back here. You know, plenty of clearance. And the reason I also went with these and not, you know, dealt with having to put the intercooler more front or somewhere else in between the bumper and the frontal support was because I'm going to get AC in this car. So I still want to have the option of mounting that vintage air condenser. Now, when I went to race week, one of the guys out there, Mr. Rabbit, pointed out that, why don't you get an electric AC compressor? Shoot, you know what? I didn't even know that was a thing. But I'm going to look into it and probably run something like that. If not, I'll still try to figure out how I'm going to get it to work with all the stuff that's going to now be going on with the turbo. But anyways, this is what it looks like. And you kind of have an idea what you'll be getting into when you buy one of these kits, if this is the way you want to go. Now, I think CX Racing sells this for the twin turbo kit or single turbo kit, but their stuff runs like up here. And so if you run that setup, you can run into issues if you're a Chevelle or someone with an Abody with not as much clearance. But if you're Monte Carlo, definitely the way to go. Until, you know, whether it's a small block or an LS, definitely the way to go. Because it's more of a bolt-on thing and it looks kind of custom and kind of cool. Better than, I guess, setting it together yourself, unless you have the skills and the ability to do so. But anyways, all right, so it's the next day, and after sleeping on it, I did a little bit of, you know, thinking and of what I'm gonna end up doing. But this is how I'm gonna end up cutting that bottom bushing, whatever what you want to call it. But I'm gonna cut it and kind of like slot it for that little bottom bracket. So I'm gonna take this back off and put this on and then see how it looks. That's how that upper hose is gonna look going to that one. Now, to solve my issue with how I'm gonna run this steam vent hose, because the other radiator had it right here, had like a spot for it. I found that guys just buy like a kind of like a bleeder connector that they hook up to the upper radiator hose, and then they remove the bleeder valve and then just put like a NTP nipple for this hose. And I'll probably do the same thing and just put it there. That way I'll cut some of the hose length of it all coming over here. As for my bottom hose, I'll just end up getting a new one. Us Monte Carlo guys will be different than Chevelle guys, so I'll show what part number hose I end up getting to go from my thermostat housing to that right there. I'll probably try to see if I can find a straight one. I don't know if it'll look better or be better, but we'll see what happens. It'll probably be better than getting this. I've had this kind of like bending up into the frame, which it doesn't do anything, but I'll probably just go a different route. And I decided that I'm gonna relocate the overflow tank to this fender for sure. I'm gonna put these tabs on the inside to get rid of these little brackets that I had, and then go from there. And then I switched. It had that little cheapy looking radiator cap cover. I know it's just a cover, but I took the one off the Summit one and put it onto this one, so it'll look like it's advertised as a Summit Racing radiator, but it's really a CX Racing radiator. So let me go put this on and then see how it looks. Be right back. Okay, so here are those little bushing things, and this is how I cut them. I ended up just using a box blade, and it was pretty soft to cut. I thought they would be a little bit harder, but there's a little slot where it's gonna go into, and it goes right on. And there's the other one, so it should fit the little nipples on that radiator. Now let me show you what those nipples are. There goes them little nipples. It'll slide in there, and hopefully that helps with some of the vibration underneath. So let me put these on and put the radiator back on and see how it works. Be right back. All right, so this is how I'm going to conclude the video. I'm going to show you what I ended up doing with those gaskets, and then that'll be the end on how to install this. Anything else, you can ask a question, leave it in the comments, and if I know the answer, I'll answer it. If not, then hopefully it was a little helpful for you. But let me get into the car and show you what those gaskets ended up looking like, or rubber bushings. And that's how they are. The way I cut them, they slip down, and it'll help with the movement of the front and back, so it won't, you know, slide in there. And that's it, guys. Hopefully you found this video useful. hopefully you found this video useful, and you hit like and hit sub for any more updates on this build. Now the only thing I have to do is find out how I'm going to mount my F-Body LS1 fans on here, or buy some aftermarket fan setup that will work here. I'm sure somebody has one off of eBay or some CX Racing fan setup. Anyways, thanks for watching.